I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Munching away, big fella. Life doesn't get better than pizza and a Cougars game, huh? Mm-hmm. Go Cougs!
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso. This is a Talking About Them Cougars podcast from GoCoogs.com. The original gorilla, Brad Towns, is here, and we have what I think is going to be a fun show. Guys that you haven't heard from that much in Ethan Sanchez and Jalen Garner. But first, Brad, talk to us about that. Star Pizza.
Oh, man. I go by Urban Yeti also. So
accurate.
Get that. More Harry and the Hendersons, less than more like less King Kong. King Kong's more agile. I don't consider myself that. But Star Pizza, man. Whoo-hoo. Celebrate win, Star Pizza. Anybody have it last night? I hope so, because you had a long time to enjoy it. But not only that, you can get pizza. You can get the pasta, sandwiches. I don't talk enough about the sandwiches because I haven't had one in a while. But man, never disappointed. And for those of you who are watching your diet and very in tune with that, delicious salads, huge. And one thing I can attest to is that ranch. I mean, just get a bucket and drink that by itself.
It's pronounced
desserts,
ranch.
Desserts, fantastic. Italian cream cake, carrot cake, red velvet cupcakes, the brownie. Every one of them's great, but those are just my favorites. So go in and grab one or two, maybe even three. Who knows?
You know who really loved the sandwiches? Jack Martin. Jack Martin was a sandwich guy at Star Pizza, always trying to get me to get one. I was like, no, I'm going to have the pizza. It's called Star Pizza, not
They are
Star
fantastic.
Sandwiches. And Section 12X, they have a deal this week, free shipping, but you gotta put homecoming, right?
Yes, spell check, please.
Use code homecoming for the free shipping at section12x.com. Go get you some, get you your polos. You know, those blue polos, they're lucky or they're not. Could go either way. And while we're just doing some things, we'll go ahead and do our thing. Before we get to two football guys, I want to talk a little basketball. Ken Palm's rankings came out, preseason ratings, not rankings, ratings came out today, and the Houston Cougars are number one. Tomorrow, the AP comes out, and I believe U of H will be 2. They could be 3, but they could be 1. It could happen. I think it's so underplayed now that U of H lives in the top 3. Mm-hmm. It's just, you don't know a life where you're not in the top 3 anymore. And I think fans kind of maybe don't appreciate it as much. Maybe they take it for granted, but I mean, it's incredible what is happening to this program. Thanks to Kelvin Sampson and Kellen and all those guys. You and I both lived through this, the James Dickey years, right before Kelvin came into town, and
sitting in those kind of moldy, dusted seats, and you get mad and hit the handrest, and all of a sudden it flips up and flies three rows down.
But man, what a time to be alive. You've got some crazy stuff going with basketball, and we'll get into that a little later. We'll probably also get into some things about the firings you saw today.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting into that. The cool thing about basketball is now we're into that territory where
cool thing about basketball.
We're in that territory that we used to hate about other schools, is that we're getting the benefit of the doubt to start the season.
Yes.
I mean, in the past, when you lose somebody like when you lose, two of your best players, two of your most important players in Juwan Roberts and LJ Cryer, in the past, people are going to like, I don't know. I even asked this. I would ask myself that question every time we would lose a handful of guys. It's like, how in the world are we going to replace these? And we always did. Now this year, I don't know what these guys are going to do, but when you say, how are we going to replace that type of production, it's like, well, you got three of the top recruits in the country. You don't know how they're going to play out, but you know what you got. You got a pretty good idea of what you got.
Yep.
But the pollsters give us the benefit of the doubt. I couldn't believe at the end of last year, people already had us way too early number one, because I thought Purdue was. I mean, if I was going to personally rank it, I would put Purdue at 1, I'd put Florida at 2, and I'd put us at 3.
I think that's fair, and it might be how it sorts out tomorrow.
Yeah. The only reason why I do that is because we've got 3 big contributors potentially, but they haven't played yet. But they come with a high pedigree, and that's what I'm saying. We're getting the benefit of the doubt of we got that hype recruiting coming in. So it's the respect that you see paid to previously to like Kansas and to Duke and to UConn and Gonzaga. I mean, holy shit, what are we now? This is incredible.
Are you sure you don't want to have Kansas number 1?
Honestly, I do, because I really like them being there. I mean, I saw what was this? I saw the other day they were down on like 20-something on a preseason poll. One of the millions out there, but Kansas fans are like, "Yay, we're finally not number 1. We're not jinxed." It's like, you weren't just. It wasn't because you were jinxed. You just weren't any good, and we enjoyed proving it.
Yes. Couple of comments
more on basketball.
Yeah, with Jalen Garner coming in. Grab your Coug gear today for homecoming game, section12x.com for sure. Yeah, I don't want to be number 1. It's jinxed. Well, I agree with that.
Well, here's the beautiful thing about it. The way that this basketball program operates correlates extremely well with the way that Ken Palm is measured.
Yes. 100%.
So we're always going to fare well. It's not favoritism. It's just the way that their algorithms are set up. And they usually do a pretty good job of identifying who the best teams are.
For sure. All right. We're going to switch gears just a little bit and go back to football, since it is football season. We get Basketball Tuesday for their local media day. Looking forward to that. Going to talk to some guys. But we're going to start with Jalen Garner, your linebacker, your guy, your fifth-year guy. Jalen, how's it going, bud?
It's going well. It's going well. How's it doing, y'all?
It's going great, man. Great to see you.
Yeah. So I have a question real quick. Brad's going to step out. Look at him. Look at me. My mother's maiden name is Garner. Do you think we're related?
Possibly, man. Possibly.
Possibly. Okay, good. I just had that question to start with. You're 5-1, maybe the quietest 5-1 in the country. What is the difference in this team and maybe the last few that you've been on here?
I say that there's a resilience between everybody. Everybody's dedicated. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody's, even when people get hurt, next man up. But we're all dedicated to the 2025 Cougs, like Coach Fritz says.
Okay. I've got one thing to show you. One of our subscribers, our fans, bought your jersey and displaying it proudly on our X feed. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Is it weird to have people buying your jersey?
Honestly, a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful that he bought my jersey.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. Thank you.
Brad.
All that time is paying off, and you've been here, but this is your 5th year now, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a long time in this era. It's a long time in any era, but here in the I guess in the kind of instant gratification NIL era where everybody's transferring every year, what keeps you coming back? What is it about this program that you've attached yourself to?
I say the people in this program, like, as long as I've been here, we've had our ups and downs, but the people here are loyal, are solid, and it's someone who I can rely on. Not even just that, I'll say even the city itself is just someone who you want to fight for every day. I say
awesome. And in with all the changes going on, I mean, you've been through a couple of coaching staffs now, and then multiple defensive coordinators, special team coaches. Tell me about the process of kind of getting on their, I don't know, do you have to try to adapt to their good side, or are you just going out and doing what you do?
I say you definitely have to adapt, but at the end of the day, if you're just a good person and you just do what you're supposed to do, at the end of the day, like do your 111, also being respectful to others, I feel like you'll go a long way. And I feel like that's made me adaptable to both situations and both coaching staffs.
Yeah, because I mean, even last year, I mean, you had you lose one coach and then you've got another. Your defensive coordinator is very, very complimentary to you. Tell me about your relationship with him.
Hey, me and him, sometimes we go at it, but like at the end of the day, I know he's getting me right every day. Every time I raise the standard, he's putting me up to a new level, and then I appreciate him for getting me right on track, for him just believing in me, because I've been here 5 years, but it's my first time actually getting to go out and get my reps in, and then now I'm just thankful that he believes in me, and thankful that he's really been on me to be even better and better each and every day.
I want to ask you about your relationship with Austin Armstrong. He told us that he recruited you when he was at Louisiana.
So he did.
So you've had a relationship with him for a while. When he was recruiting you that first time around, what was his sales pitch?
I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a long time ago. But from what I remember is that he was always a a nice guy, always a person who had my back, and always someone who just, how I say this, I don't want to say experiment, but like he was someone who wanted to do new things, and I definitely was looking forward to that.
He said that when he got this job at U of H, you were one of the first people to contact him.
Mm-hmm.
What was your point in contacting him, and what did you say?
I want to, establish an early relationship so we could, get that connection going as early as possible, so we could have something, so we could have, how I say this, so we could be in link to the point where I'm not only helping myself but helping my teammates. I'm also seeing with the whole formation, with the whole defenses, so I'm just better knowing where everybody else is. I feel like me learning that early on definitely helped me for this season.
Before y'all played SFA, probably a week before that, I asked him in practice, like, who am I missing? Who should I be paying attention to? And Austin Armstrong said, Jalen Garner. Jalen Garner's coming. He's going to have a year. What is it that you think you saw or you showed in preseason camp and that's built into this season?
But like I've always shown that I've had a different type of energy on the field. Every time I'm on the field, there's always some loud bang, some explosive play, and it's just to the point where I knew I keep doing this over and over and over again. This is going to translate onto the field. I feel like me doing that all preseason, that really helped me to see new things and see new ways of translating it, I guess, to the field.
Okay. We got some fan questions for you real quick. What's up, Jalen? How does Willie keep this team focused week to week?
The best way I can say it is that each and every win or loss, we got to flush it, move on to the next. And we just had this win against Oklahoma State. We got to flush that and move on to Arizona. He always keeps us focused for the next opponent.
He also asked, at linebacker, who gives y'all the call from the sideline? Is Futu receiving those calls?
So basically, it's not even Fotu. It's pretty sure it's behind me. I'm pretty sure it's who was it? I think it's Cottrell. I'm pretty sure it's one of the
that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, usually I'll hear a different type of signal or something from behind Cottrell. Little tips or even a call, even if I don't hear it sometimes.
Okay, Brad.
Coming off of last week. Last week was kind of tough, but you guys held strong. How do you rebound? Tell me about the transition from that week to this week.
Like I said earlier, Coach Fritz has us on a constant either win or loss. We flush them on to the next. So I feel like we knew that we needed to step up and bounce back from a tough loss from Texas Tech.
And so that gives us a pretty good idea of exactly what's going down this week into the next game.
Yes, sir.
So you had a pretty big game this week.
Do the early games affect you guys? The time of days, does that have any effect at all?
I really say it might even be a plus for us because we practice early in the morning.
Yeah. Right.
So
no, it's always a discussion amongst fans that late games are really tough or early games are really tough, and I'm like, I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah, because I say going back to Coach Fritz, he had us doing. I remember in fall camp we had some night practices and we had some early morning practices. For most part, we do early morning, but he made it so we're more adaptable now in the season. So to the point where we can play at nighttime or even early in the morning. Like early in the morning, I usually. I really got this from Coach Hester, so I'll give me a cold shower, wake up my body, and I'll be good to go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen's shown some good speed blitzing the quarterback. You had 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles yesterday. What have you had a game like that in college? I don't remember.
I have not, and I plan to have more like that, but so far I have not, and I strive each and every week to even go above that standard.
You're on the sideline while the offense is on the field. Did you see the shirtless guys in that section above the field? And what are your thoughts on the sideline seeing that happen?
No, it's crazy. I remember that. I remember exactly when that happened. And actually, when I was on the sideline, we all seen it happen because it went from like 1 dude to 2 to 4 to 10. It was like 30, and it was everybody over there. It was just getting crazy. But actually, I don't know if any of my peeps, when I did my celebration, I hit the little thing, the towel thing. I don't know if people thought I was just tweaking or nah. That was for the
paying respect.
Yeah, paying respect.
Absolutely.
Cool. You play alongside Corey Platt, and he has been through it in the last 2 years. What's it like as a teammate to see a guy come back from those 2 injuries and have the breakout against Rice in Colorado like that?
Honestly, I see Corey Platt work every day, and honestly, being with him, honestly, it helps because at the same time as me and Sione are doing our thing, we also rely on Corey to do his thing, and then it's honestly been an honor for him to be back like he did. Because it's like you said, he's been gone for this so long. Just for him to bounce back like it was nothing, I have much respect for Corey. It's my brother.
Awesome. We are huge fans. Okay, Brad, ask your last question.
All right. See that in your bio that you're the one food that you would eat the rest of your life is pizza. So that got my attention. What kind of pizza we going with?
You know, it's crazy. I haven't been over there in a while, but I'll go to Stars Pizza. I forgot which. It's a Star Pizza right across the street from HEB. And I used to live over there, but I used to get this. It's not, I think it was the Meat Lovers. It had like sausage, bacon, pepperoni, the whole mix.
Yep.
And I'm a cheesy guy, so I'm gonna get a little extra cheese.
Extra, dude. They do it perfect with that extra cheese. It's perfect. A lot of it.
Perfect.
Lot of it. Star Pizza, get you some. Brad Town certainly getting him some. Star Pizza. Get you some Star Pizza. You do not have any sort of NIL deal with them. Mike, what are you doing? Get Jalen a deal.
Man, I would love a deal.
Pizza lover, meat lover, get him a deal right now. All right, Jalen, we appreciate this. Thanks so much for coming.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for
man. Thanks for coming out, man.
All right. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He was fun.
Absolutely.
That was good.
You gotta love a guy to see a guy put the work in year after year. I mean, he really is. It's cool to see in this era because you're not going to see it that very often. There's a guy come in and competing for his turn, and now he's got it, and boom, he's exploded this year.
How many? We didn't ask him this, but I wonder. Thinking back at how many position coaches has he had in 5 years? I think it's 4. And so you're learning all new terminology every time you change the defensive coordinator. Sometimes when you change a position coach, you've got to like reset and relearn what you're doing. And he had to think, I don't know if my time is ever going to come. I don't know if I'm going to ever be able to have a season like this. But he just kept putting in the work and he kept grinding. And, you know, he's not the most vocal guy, but he's letting his play do the talking. And that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when I was here, it was the transition between Stockton and Noble. And so understanding what goes along with the coaching change, it wasn't very difficult with us because it was only one coach or two coaches, new pitching coach, new head coach. And, you know, there wasn't a hitting coach back then, but, to change, to change head coach, position coach, special teams coach, strength and conditioning coach. I mean, you've got people that are working with you on a day-to-day basis. You got 5 new people coming in every other year. That's got to be, I mean, that's tough because one, you got to know and this is just the soft stuff on the outside of it. You got to know, you got to learn to get their personality, what they're looking for. You got to hope that you're jiving with their personality. You got to hope that what you're bringing to the table fits in what they're trying to accomplish because, you know, I saw it firsthand as a player that the older you get, the more expendable you get unless you're producing.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they didn't recruit you. They're bringing their own stuff with them. I think Dion would call them something different, but
and you kind of mentioned this, but it's not just the head coach, it's the position coach, but it's the strength and conditioning and nutrition. That's who's feeding you every single day. It's different food. You're dealing with an analyst more than you're dealing with a head coach. And so how are those grad assistants, those analysts and the film people, how they cut up your film? It all changes. And you just have to go through that. And he's gotten pretty good at it because it happened so many times.
Damn right.
But it's one of the unseen portions of whether coordinator, head coach, position coach, and he's had a position coach and coordinator who was the same guy for the last couple of years. When that happens, you're dealing with that analyst way more, because there's a lot of times the defensive coordinator, your position coach, is not on the practice field with you. He's dealing with the defensive line. He's dealing with some 7-on-7 stuff or whatever. And, you know, it's a different world. Jamie Hollingsworth says, Facebook Nation, stand up.
Yes.
Currently 3 people on Facebook watching, which is perhaps a career high for us. But we appreciate everybody that's dug in here for a little bit. I want to tell you something real quick about Ethan Sanchez. Before we went on and hit the go live button at the top of our screen, Ethan Sanchez was here. He was ready. He got in here before we even went live, was ready to go for us. And we're like, hold on, Ethan, you come back at 8:30. But that was kind of funny. He was his earliest guy we've had. Eddie Nunez showed up once, like an hour early or something. But in terms of players, you gotta like that.
The older I've gotten, the little bitty things like that always stick in my mind. I always remember it. And the crazy thing is that right out of college, going into my first jobs, my bosses told me, they said, you will get to a point one day where these things will stand out. I'll remember if you're late, and I'll remember if you're early.
Yeah.
And both of them mean something completely different.
For sure. Usually people are annoyed how early I am. Mike Pittman says, thanks. We got a deal at Star Pizza Loading for Jalen for sure. Done deal. He already knows where to get the best pizza. It's Star Pizza. Go get you some specials all week, starting tomorrow. The buffet Tuesday and Friday. Jalen was talking about across from HEB. That's on Washington at Harvard, near Heights Boulevard. You've got the one on Mason Road in Katy. I think I found out where it was. And then 59 in Shepherd, which is on Norfolk in Shepherd, right across from Whataburger. I may have gone to Whataburger right before I went to Oklahoma. I am glad to be out of Oklahoma, to be honest with you.
There's a HB across the street from Star.
I mean, it's just a 5-story building, bro. Parking garage, big HEB.
Never paid attention.
Locked when he's over there.
Mike, that's how dialed in I am. The only thing I'm seeing, blinders.
Look how fat this motherfucker is. Of course, that's all he's seeing. Yeah, there's an HEB right across the street. Jalen Garner stood out, made plays as a backup and on special teams. He has played a ton of special teams. I should have asked him about that. That's on me, because I do like asking guys about, we know you as a linebacker, but you really made your bones on special teams. And that's how you start getting playing time. You saw it with Jacques Martin this week. He had 3 balls thrown to him. And it's because of the work he's been doing on special teams. He's obviously moving up the ladder at receiver, but he's done quite a bit on special teams to get himself into that position. So good comment, Jeff. And we're going to go right now to Ethan Sanchez, who here at 8 o'clock, ready to go. A little early, but that's always good. Love that. Hey, sitting here trying to stall for somebody that's late sucks.
Yeah.
Having somebody early, that works.
Never change. That is always good.
Right.
Ethan, I'm going to show you something real quick. Right here over my shoulder is Jack Martin, who used to be our favorite player. Now we can't stand him. We're all about Ethan Sanchez now, because Jack, mediocre kicker. Ethan, killing it. What? Start off with this. How did you end up here? You could have gone to a lot of places after the season you had last year. Why did you end up at U of H?
That's a great question. When I entered the transfer portal, a lot of options were there and a lot of options were open. But after taking a visit here on campus and getting to see the coaches and especially meeting Willie Fritz,
I figured out that this was going to be the place. And I have a lot of family around the area in Austin and Dallas, and they've been great support at the game. So it was no doubt that I was going to go to where my family was and where a great program was.
What was it about Willie Fritz that convinced you he was the guy?
Yeah, so I took all my knowledge, and that would be only so many years, but I took all my knowledge of football and just wanted to be somewhere where I was going to be under good guidance. And after sitting with Willie Fritz in his office, I noticed that this guy, he knew a lot and he had a lot of experience and he's seen a lot. So I wanted to be under someone who has a great direction and where our team's going to go, and especially where I'm going to be placed on the field. And I'm just grateful that I've been used a lot and been able to help this team win.
Yeah, see, I would have chosen the team that was the worst on third down. Like, you're bad on third down. That means I get to kick. And you went a different way, and I respect that. But I would have gone third down, not so good. You're already 12th all time for a single season in field goals made. Did you know that?
I'm not aware. I'm not too all into the whole stat line and everything. That'll come at the end of the season. All the accolades
Yeah,
and everything will be there.
Yeah. 12th already. The All-American kicker is at the top of that. Jack Martin, nowhere to be seen. But you had a great year last year. I think you were 10 of 11, and now you're 14 of 16. What has changed for you that's made you more effective, or have you figured something out?
There's no secret. I mean, it all comes from preparation and the confidence that you bring. A lot of what it comes from a kicker is up in his head. What's ever going up in here is what's going to be produced out there. So just keeping the same routine, and I changed nothing about my routine. In fact, I had to find myself building a whole new routine off the one I had in the previous season, coming to a whole new school and a new program, trying to earn the respect from the guys. And it took some time. And once I found out everything that I needed to do to get ready and make myself feel good, then it was just keep that same routine every single week.
Brad?
I'm always interested in kind of the mental side of that. I'm glad you got into that routine. Can you walk us through, like, when we get the ball, when do you start kind of dialing it in, and what is your routine from there all the way up to the time you're kicking?
Routine, and I clarify routine as preparation. People think routine can be, superstition, like I gotta wear my lucky pair of socks or whatnot. But it's not like that, and it's all about just feeling comfortable and feeling ready and feeling prepared. And so on the sideline, when I see your team cross and get close to the 50-yard line, I'm good from range, so I'm going to be up. So I'm just preparing for when I see our team start moving down the field. And it's a great as a kicker. I wanted to bring this up. I was thinking about this today. As a kicker, it's like an all access pass on the sideline. You're in it in the locker room. You're in it on the sideline. You're in it on the field. You get all of the access, and and you get to observe a lot, and you see the team's morale, and see the energy flowing, and the momentum in the game, and yeah, I just want to be part of that.
So is
cool.
the building the confidence and kind of being in your full preparation, is that what makes it seem like you're probably the happiest player on the field, no matter what?
Yes, and the happiness doesn't just come from on the field, playing football. Of course, playing football makes me happy, but I'm just happy with life. I'm happy with the people I'm surrounded by. I'm happy with my situation, in all aspects of life. And I think where my happiness comes from is my faith, and my faith keeps me strong. My faith keeps me going, and I like to say, like, my faith is not just a religion, but it's a lifestyle. And
Right.
I'm joyful through it all, and that's where all of that comes from.
That's awesome.
When Willie Fritz iced you at Oregon State, just totally, but he kind of told us that your routine started maybe a little later than normal, and that he didn't want to get a delay of game. Is that how you saw it, or did you think he was icing you?
I'm gonna be real honest with you, and I'm glad I get to speak about this because I had no idea it was from our sideline. On the field, I remember going up to my holder. Jake Sock he's a phenomenal man, and he's done a lot for me, and I couldn't do it without him, the front line, and also my snapper, Jacob Garza. But back to what I was saying. I thought it was from the other sideline. And I was so surprised when I found out after the game, they're like, yeah, your head coach iced you. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, they wouldn't do that. Like, no one does that. And so when we talked about it later that day when we or not later in the film when we were going over, and I was like, hey coach, like, why did you do that? He said, well, you just got to get going a little bit faster. And I wasn't nervous you weren't going to make it. I just wanted to be sure. And I was like, okay, coach, thank you. Appreciate it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it caught on next week. The next week it happened in the Baylor and was it Baylor TCU?
Yeah, Baylor TCU, I think. Yeah.
They did the same thing. So I'm like, look, it's a new thing.
Ethan Sanchez and Willie Fritz starting a new tradition. Speaking of starting new traditions, you're on the sideline a lot. You saw that section 231 yesterday of those shirtless kids waving their shirts around. What are you thinking on the sideline, seeing that kind of build and develop and turn into kind of a viral moment?
Yeah, no, it did show up on my Twitter feed, and I was like, I'm surprised it did, but like also no, I'm not, because I mean that was very, very like exciting to see, especially on the away sideline when you are beating a team so badly and you see them still cheering and going on. It's not only a good feeling for us on the field, but also for the fans. You know, they enjoyed it as well. And I looked up on the jumbotron, it said probably new world record most shirtless men, and so I was like, that's crazy, that's awesome, that's great for football.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see. I want to go back and ask you about Jake Sock. The holder kicker relationship is not really understood by a lot of people. Tell me why it makes such a difference to have somebody you trust and you like holding for you.
Definitely. And I think we have the best special teams unit in the nation. We have everyone on that unit who's had talent and experience, and that's all you can ask for in the special teams room. Jake Sock has been phenomenal for me. He's been like almost like Scotty Scheffler's caddy. Like we go out on the field and like, all right, what club we hitting? Driver, 4-iron, 6-iron. We just name off clubs. Like we just make it fun. We make it in our own way. And going into the season, I wanted to figure out who was going to be my holder because, like you said, it is important, and not many people understand how important that relationship and trust, most of all, trust is. And so I wanted to build that relationship with him in the off season. So a way we did that was we went golfing. Me and him both share that common interest, and we would just go out on the golf course, ride around on the same car, just talk and chat and just get to know each other on a personal level. And once I felt really comfortable with him, and like I knew it was going from there.
That's awesome.
You need to go out with Ryan to the golf course and beat him like a drum.
I'd destroy Jake Sock. It is embarrassing what I do to that guy. And he's a good player. He's a good player.
He is.
But it's disaster for him.
Whatever, old man.
You have a new special teams coach, Coach Couch. He came into the game a little later than you would probably expect. What has that been like for you? And what has he brought to your game? Maybe that's helped you put this season together.
Yeah, not only did he come in, at a later time, but he came in at the right time, and that's the time we needed him most. We just were finishing up putting it together for the special teams unit, and as soon as he came in, he really locked down with the players. All of us, our punters, our snappers, our kickers, he really got it honed in on what we got to do and what the objective is, and he's instilled confidence. He's let us be us. Like, you can't coach one player the same you coach the next because they might need to work on something different, or they don't respond well to this. But he's done a really great job of understanding who we are and just making that even better. And he's been a great person, and I love talking to him at the dinner table before games, and I just love going up to his office and probably messing with them or saying something. He's a really funny guy, and anyone's a blessing to meet him. And I sure am. So I really appreciate Chris Couch for coming in, and he's been awesome for us.
Cool. Brad?
I've seen a couple of different post kick celebrations. Which one's your favorite, and why aren't you doing the Sue as much anymore? Did you do it once or twice?
I can't even remember. And in those moments, you kind of just go blank and you just let the emotions take over. You know, when you hit a big kick, you don't really prepare what's coming after next, but you know you're gonna hit it. And so whatever I feel in the moment is right in that time. Like I just unleash it, you know, and then that's kind of been part of me. You know, this position, it it's losing all of that swagger that it had back then. People bringing out the celebrations, but what's all that swag when you can't make a kick? So, you know, you just got to focus on what's the job and get it done and then let the rest just figure itself out.
Absolutely, because I've seen that. I've seen that on the on Twitter quite a bit. It's all of a sudden, hey, we got the swaggiest kicker in the league.
Yeah, no, and I love that label and I appreciate it. But to me, I mean, that swagger just comes from the preparation and confidence that our team puts in. And if I get to express that in a little bit of way, like, you know, that makes it even better.
Nice. And before we let you out, I see that your hobbies are content creating also, among other things. Tell me about your content creation and what you like to do or what you want to do in that.
Yeah, no, I've seen it as like a little skill of mine, just to make good ideas and being creative. And I love like picking up like the camera and just like cool cinematography or cool shots of nature or just myself, what I do in my day-to-day life. Like I just kind of like see a picture, see a video, and like kind of make my own spin on it. And sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're not. But you know, I just like to express myself and you know, in that way.
Where can people follow you at?
So on Instagram, you know, it's Ethan Sanchez. On Twitter, it's E10_Sanchez. So if you get it, E10, Ethan, that's kind of where I was going with it. I'm not number
Nice.
10, but you know.
Exactly. Sweet.
I've seen this for a couple of commenters. How many twin brothers do you have?
Yeah, I just have two twin brothers. Their
Yeah.
names Jonathan and Nathaniel, and you know, grew up with them. They're complete opposites, and they're fraternal, so they look nothing alike. And they're not alike in any way. One likes to play music and make music, and the other one likes to, you know, get outside, get dirty, play sports, and you know. So I grew up, you know, probably that's where the content creation and creative side, and also sports side came. Just two people to look up to in that way.
Okay. This is something I don't think a lot of people know. How many kicks do y'all practice during the week? And then what's your schedule? You don't kick every day. So what's your schedule like during a week like this, what's coming up versus Arizona?
Yeah, so just for prep week, you know, our Sundays are off day where we just get back from the game and recover all day. Monday, we're going to watch the film, get better and make corrections. And then Tuesday, we're starting on kicks. We're starting and well, for kickers, do not get many chances in games, so they make limited reps in practice just to make a game like. So I get about 8 kicks a week that are live with the team, and then all my prep work is before practice. So on Tuesdays we kick, Wednesday's a little kickoff day, Thursday's a more field goal type of day, Friday's a chill day. So you know we just get ready for the Saturday game. So not many kicks, not many opportunities, but you got to make the most of it and you got to make them count.
The special teams unit is usually apart from the team. You go, if they're inside, you go outside to work, or if they're outside, sometimes you go inside. What do you get out of that time? You're with your special teams guys all the time, right? Your specialists hang out together. What is that time like when the other guys are putting a game plan in? What's it like for you?
Right. When the team's inside going meetings, we're inside in the indoor taking advantage of the open field just because our job takes a lot of the field space and it's hard to do both you know, offense and defense and run special teams. So we go outside early and then we make that transition outside from our indoor to our outdoor just to get some more kicks in before some later periods where we have punt. But usually when we're on the sideline talking, we keep the energy light, we keep it positive, and we just, you know, we go out there and just be football players. That's all we can be.
Yeah. All right, Brad, you have anything else?
I'm good. Thank you.
Ethan,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Kickers give excellent interviews. I mean, seriously, Ethan and then Jack are excellent speakers. Do you have much of a relationship with him? Do you know him at all?
I've met him over the phone maybe a couple times, but I heard he was a great guy. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's the best place to leave it. a great character guy. He'll be an asset in any organization. Yeah, so we appreciate it. Ethan, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you, and good luck this Saturday versus Arizona.
Absolutely. Keep on doing it, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys. Appreciate the time. Go
Thank you, man.
Cougs.
All right.
Yes.
I love special
Fantastic.
teams. I just don't know why you wouldn't go. Kickers and specialists, holders, they are weird. And I say that in the nicest way possible. They're so interesting. They have such a perspective. He told you he feels like he has an all access pass because he basically gets to be in on these meetings and he gets to hang out and he gets to know these guys. And then when everything hits the fan, they're all sitting there depending on him. And so it's a crazy way to live life, but that went really well. I was really impressed with him.
I look at put kickers and closers in a very similar category because you don't get to get in the groove. You don't get to get in the flow. When you're called on, it's all on the table. And it's either sink or swim. Either you do or you don't. And in each season, whether it's a kick, it could be a kick in the first quarter, or it could be a walk-off at the end. Game's on the line. Those 3 points are huge, but there's always some kind of mentality. See, I don't have that kind of mentality. I was a horrible closer.
Yes,
I needed the full routine, if you will. But they're either I found that kickers and closers are either one of two ways. They're either unbothered by the entire world and just kind of the coolest, most talkative, happiest people in the world, or they are flat out insane. They are just animals.
What percentage would you consider flat out insane?
I'd say probably 30 or 40%.
You're a fucking idiot. It's 90%.
Well, I think they're all insane.
Minimum.
But I'm talking about people who are sitting out there in the bullpen or on the sideline, like eating the bench, like biting stuff.
Yeah,
having conversations with themselves.
I thought it was interesting that he said that he only gets 8 live kicks a week. And I've never really put that together from what I see. I don't get to see the Thursday workouts, which is their main kicking day. That's like the main special teams day. We don't see that. We see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I see them Monday and Wednesday not kicking. And on Tuesdays, they get a couple of kicks. But I like the way how he explained it, that we're trying to keep it like more like a game where you only get just these few opportunities every week. Mm-hmm. And so if you're just going out there and you've got 40 opportunities, then maybe you don't treat it the same way as if you've got these limited number. I just thought that was pretty
it's probably also like throwing a bullpen too. I mean, you're not gonna go out there and dump everything you got.
Right. But anyways, buckle up because Brad's about the deal. And then he left. He just bailed on me. So thanks a lot, Brad. You had 3 guys fired today. James Franklin being the number one. The guy at Oregon State got fired, who you played a few weeks ago. Trent Dilfer at UAB. And then James Franklin. James Franklin gets fired 15 days ago. He was number 3 in the country hosting Oregon, a whiteout game. They go to double overtime and he loses. And then that team just has quit, frankly, with UCLA and with Northwestern. You can't lose at Northwestern. You just can't do it. And they quit on him and he got fired. And he got fired with 48 or something million owed. Brad has a problem with this. So Brad, please.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I mean, I've loved to make fun of of that guy. Mostly because he's at Penn State. I thought he was fantastic at Vanderbilt. I really like Franklin at Vanderbilt. And I'll be a fan of him wherever he goes next. But my God, man, is this not the perfect example of how insane this sport has gone? You know, I could understand if you string together a few years of literally underperforming, and you make the case for Jimbo, because 8 to 9 wins just aren't going to cut it when you're spending the money that they're spending. But my God, Franklin was in the CFP last year. They were winning
just that. Yeah, they won 2 games.
Yeah. And they were, what were they, number 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Now I understand you can't, they did something that is a very rare feat. They lost back-to-back games as a 20-point favorite. I understand that. I understand the notion of that. But the fact that you got a guy who has 100 wins in 12 seasons there. I mean, this is a dude who took a chance on Penn State, because when he was coming in there, Penn State was not known for football. They were known for what goes on in the locker room and what gets covered up at that place.
They got nailed in early November of 2011. And
yes,
then U of H played them in that, I think it was called the Heart of Dallas
Ticket
or Heart
City.
of Texas Bowl. Oh, maybe it was Ticket City Bowl. It was both of those names, but maybe it was Ticket City that year. And went up to the Cotton Bowl for that. And right outside, they had a demonstration area for Westboro Baptist. And they had the pedo state signs. And I went and got my picture taken with them, because when else am I going to get that opportunity? But he was coming to that situation where there was talk about these huge sanctions. And frankly, they were not sanctioned enough.
Well, and when he accepted the job and he started there, they had a bowl ban, but it conveniently got wiped away because, I don't want to get started in that direction, but I mean, dude, they basically washed their image off the success that James Franklin had, and that's exactly what they were looking to do. It is, and not only that, they're paying him $50 million. So what are you expecting? Well, they're on the hook for whatever.
Yes, to mitigate, yeah.
So the next guy coming in there, 11-2, ain't going to cut it.
No.
You better win the Big 12, and you better win the national championship. You better be doing it in the next few years, because guess what? They've already set the standard, if you will, that 10 wins ain't enough, 11 wins ain't enough, 12 wins ain't enough. Okay, so all you have to do is you got to beat Michigan and Ohio State, and you got to do it every year, because it's not going to be enough to just do it once. And then you got to run the gauntlet of the CFP. So, I mean, they've completely lost their mind. I don't know who the hell they think they are. I just think I'm just happy that their fans are suffering, and I hope that they are in the exact same position going forward of what Wisconsin was when they fired Paul Chryst, and what Nebraska was when they got rid of the Superman Bo Pelini. I wish them nothing but failure. I hope their stadium burns down. I hope they salt the earth where it stood. I hope the entire university is leveled. I can't stand them, and I hate them even more today. Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
Yeah. Ricky Spanglish put something that I've actually heard this rumor many, many times today. Tech coach being targeted by Penn State. I believe this is true. Joe McGuire going to be the next head coach at Penn State. Poor Tech. Just hate that for them, but that's how things go. The big rumor is Matt Rule. Matt Rule, who Nebraska fans hated a month ago, hated. is all of a sudden won some close games with Maryland and other middle schools, and now is a big hot name. And it's because of the great offensive mind of Dana Holgorsen. If Dana Holgorsen gets this guy a job, that is going to be hilarious. Somebody at Nebraska is going to think, well, we should just hire Dana Holgorsen. Look what he's done for us. And I hope that happens.
I mean, if
that happens.
What coaches out there do you think fit that job?
Which job? Penn State?
Yeah, that they're going to
Mike Elko, number one.
Yeah.
He's a Pennsylvania, New Jersey kind of guy.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, I think it fits. And I just don't know who else.
Brent Key.
I mean, there's who's that?
Tech? Brent Key at Georgia Tech.
That could maybe make sense. Maybe. The guy that was built for this is Matt Campbell, but Matt Campbell had a big plate of humble burgers served to him yesterday.
Yeah.
Losing to Colorado. That ain't great.
No.
Colorado students rush the field. Love that. I am pro rushing the field every single time.
The best part of that rushing the field is when the guy got chopped in half he got clotheslined by the. Not only clothesline, it's one thing to get knocked down by the goalpost. It's another thing to get pinned by the goalpost.
No, he was life alert down. Like, help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Like,
and then credit to him, as soon as they lifted it up, he was off running again. He was not giving up the mission.
Well, he wasn't sticking around to stay on that video, is what he was doing.
Yeah.
But Matt Campbell is the guy that you would think, but he's lost steam. He may have. It might be Iowa State for a while here.
Dre says, legit question: isn't the A&M? Isn't A&M a better job than Penn State? I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah,
A&M's a better job than Penn State. Texas Tech's a better job than Penn State. Iowa State's a better job than Penn State. Just for if nothing else, but for the reasons that I said, is that you're not going there to just rebuild a program. You're going there to take a program if here's the top, they were right here. So if you don't make that much, you're done. But at Indiana with Cignetti, they're going to build him a statue just because.
They could build him one today.
I mean,
he's the Bob Knight of Indiana football.
Elko's a damn good coach, and he's got Texas Tech at the top of the SEC. I mean, Texas A&M at the top of the SEC. That got unlimited money. Why would you leave that? Why would you leave? Joey McGuire. I mean, he's a Texas guy, so he ain't going to freaking Penn State. He's a West Texas guy. I mean, he's tailor-made for Texas Tech and unlimited money in a conference that is up for grabs, that they could literally spin their way to dominate for a while, as long as the money's flowing. So, I mean, I think that job is a trap. It's going to be success. It's going to be sexy to a lot of people. Now, personally, I would be very interested in that job. Sign me up for a 5-year deal and fire me next year, and I'm right back here.
You're getting fired 5 minutes after the ink dries. Yes. You are finding a way.
Yeah, but you not 5 minutes. I will save it. I will at least get to the press conference and then do some. We'll go off the rails there.
I'm just throwing a name out that just came to me. Would Rhett Lashley ever make sense? Would it ever make sense for him?
I don't think so.
If you're getting 4 teams in the college football playoff from that conference, I mean, you got to figure you can do that. And Lashley pretty much has to win his conference to be that guy.
Thing is, it's not enough.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
it hasn't been.
You can get to the CFP semifinal, and guess what? You're gone 6 games later.
Yeah. What about Mario Cristobal?
That could be interesting, but he's a Miami dude. I mean, not only that, he's a Miami dude. Miami, when they're, I mean, hell, they've been spending money for
They
35
have
years.
Shannon Dawson's going to get a job.
He probably deserves it. That FAU would be a good spot for him.
Oh, I think he can do a lot better. I think you're looking at like an Oklahoma State kind of job,
Wouldn't surprise
not
me.
at an FAU. But the Signetti stuff, I don't understand why you would leave what he's already built in a year and a half for Penn State, which has to be, it doesn't have to be completely rebuilt, but you need a completely different culture in there. And it could take a few years. And Signetti's 64. Maybe it just doesn't make sense. And I am a fan of, as Brad said, they're already building a statue for me. He's already to that level. It's not Joe Pa's program at Indiana. It's nobody's program. It's his. And I just think that he's got a better situation where he is right now. John Summerall at Tulane, who replaced Willie, I think that could be a guy that gets a look. The guy at South Florida, Alex Golish, everybody has him on top of their list. I think he could get a look.
That's the type of name that I think would take that job, because I'm going to be honest, I think they're going to have to go down the list to get somebody to take it. I think the coaches who are looking to have a longer career are probably less likely to take that job than guys who are still rising, because they don't know what they don't know, especially at a big program. Like Tom Herman, he didn't know that him being an asshole was going to be a problem at Texas Tech. He didn't know of all the other bullshit that goes on at a huge program that doesn't go on at places like U of H or at South Florida. There's just so much out there, but then those are the guys that get, they're the type A guys that are turning and burning, and they see that big shiny name at the top. That's, oh shit, they're going to pay me $8 million guaranteed for 5 years. I'm going to be the one to make that crazy girl love me.
Yeah, she just hadn't had the right opportunity.
I could fix her.
What about Scott Satterfield? Cincinnati fans hated him. Now they love him. What about Jeff Brom? Louisville fans hated him. Now they kind of like him.
Brahms banana split.
I saw quite a few Brahms in Oklahoma City.
Those are
and
fantastic.
Just north of it.
Brahms hamburger's pretty good, dude.
I think the best thing that would happen would be if they go and get somebody like Dabo Sweeney. Oh my God, we got Dabo. He's won a national title. Dabo. And then he reacts the same way he's been at Clemson, which is not to innovate, not to go along with NIL and whatever else. That's what I would like to see. Just keep them churning exactly where they are. I don't need them to be good. That people always say, oh, college football is so much better when blank is better. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It means somebody else can be better. It means somebody else is getting to step into that. Texas Tech is one of those schools right now. They're getting to step up. I saw somebody suggest in our chat that Oklahoma State should go after Dana Holgerson. Please. Can you imagine firing a legend in your program in your state to go hire the Temu version of him? I can't. I mean, why would you do that? I don't think Dana's ever going to be a head coach again. I don't think he wants that responsibility. I don't think the money has run out yet. Dan Mullen is mentioned. I think, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Dan Mullen at Arkansas would be the perfect marriage. Dan Mullen, when he was at Mississippi State, was able to win 8 games a year kind of out of just in the shadows, doing his own thing. Fayetteville is exactly like that. Stillwater could be like that. I think that would be a great shot in the arm for Oklahoma State.
Potentially. Oklahoma State, I could see him being there.
You can't see Arkansas?
I'm thinking James Franklin at Arkansas. I think that'd be a really interesting.
What about Florida?
Arkansas more so. I mean, I'm not saying who would be the one to offer, but the reason why I think he'd be a good fit for Arkansas is that I think he'll play the type of football that they like. They like a nice mix of, good run game and some passing game.
Good boobs. Big boobs.
But I think if he could replicate what he did at Penn State, if he could replicate that at Arkansas, they would be fine until he's time to retire.
Well, no, they would build a statue if he could do that. I think Florida's is a top 5-6 program in the SEC. Arkansas is not.
But I think Florida is going to demand national titles. I don't know if he could do that there because it's even in the Big Ten, you had 2 teams to worry about. In the SEC, you got a lot more than that, and so you're running into some really top quality guys. It ain't Purdue you're lining up against.
No. Does Arkansas have the money to pay James Franklin? I don't think you're going to see a contract like he had at Penn State. You're going to see a 5-year deal.
He's going to give you a lot of, we don't have this. Well, no, they don't have the money while he's asking. When Arkansas needs the money, they end up having the money.
Yeah.
The Tyson Chicken guy wasn't ponying up much until John Calipari came up.
It's amazing that they found money for John Calipari.
Not only that, they guarantee that they're going to pay more than anybody in college basketball, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Major Applewhite burnishing his resume. Major has not won an FBS game this year. He's won in 5.
It's a wrong time for him to be looking.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's looking, but they also can't fire him because I think they play Tuesday this week. Because I looked at Major like, what's happening down there? But not going to happen.
And this is all these early firings, especially in our bigger schools, couldn't come at a worse time for the players when they're changing up the portal windows. And even though they're going to be getting paid, there's questions of whether around their grant and aid and what.
I actually disagree with this. They're going to get in the portal before everybody else.
Well, the new rule that they agreed on moves
if
that.
It doesn't start until January 2nd, that's different. But if it starts now, where 5 days after the new coach is hired, you get to go into the portal.
Right.
That's a much bigger deal.
What I'm saying is before this year, if the coach leaves, you could jump in the portal right now, or you can declare for the portal and say, deuces.
Yeah. Major did have very many high school recommendations.
He did.
And U of H had an athletics director that thought that mattered.
He got a real strong recommendation out of Pearland and did not sign a single player from Pearland.
That's weird. That's so weird. Anyways,
so I talked about all the bad. Let's go back to the good and talk about the boys in Section 231 at Oklahoma State.
I'm serious. Like you're gonna see him come out of one of those tunnels and he's gonna be pistol whipped without a shirt on. The Oregon Duck would be up there already. Yeah, for sure.
I took that video that way to show that I don't know where these people came from, because that entire half of the stadium was empty. That was all supposed to be student section up there, and there were no students after halftime. They checked out. These guys came from who knows where. I read an article today about the guy that started it. Not even a student. 40-year-old guy doesn't even go to Oklahoma State games.
Did it on a bet.
His sister invited him to the game yesterday morning. So think about the 11 a.m. game and was invited yesterday morning and started what I think is going to be something Oklahoma State does in all their sports now. This is going to catch on. They're going to do this in baseball, in football, in basketball. Their women's basketball coach asked them to do it there. I think it's great. Like, I think if you can take something out of this horrific season and turn it into a tradition, something that matters at your school, that could be pretty freaking cool. And it's also good to see whatever they were, students or older people, or there were some young kids in it too. Just get together and root for their team. They were, I don't know if you could hear it on the broadcast, but they got loud. And you could hear it in the press box, and I walked outside just to hear it a little better. It was a really cool deal.
Yeah, it's one of those unplanned things that turned out to be one of the best things that I've seen in a long time in college sports. And we get caught up in all the BS that goes on with it now, since it's now more of a business than ever. And this gives you that glimpse of that's what it's about. That right there is exactly what it's about. So, you see, Ole Miss students, they bailed.
11 a.m. is hard on a student section.
North Carolina cleared house during the middle of the game. You see it across college football. That's just the way things are going to be from now on. It's not the college experience we might have known from the past. It's truly an entertainment product, and people are going to come and enjoy it, and then they're going to leave when it's time to leave, and they're going to define when it's time to leave.
I'm going to throw this one out there.
Oh, here we go.
Who is option 2 behind Major Applewhite? There was no option 2 behind Major Applewhite. Major Applewhite was option 2. Option 1, who got to the finish line, was
option
Lane
1, who was pushing for this job.
Well, he interviewed for it. He basically accepted it. All he had to do was get through Dr. Couture. This is where the situation was. Tom Herman jets. Lane Kiffin wants this job. Major Applewhite thinks it's his job, and he's still here running the team as the interim. Lane Kiffin calls the football offices asking, can you give me the phone numbers to your recruits? I need to get in touch with these guys. Called the freaking office, which I love because that's just ballsy Lane Kiffin. But that's how far down the road he was. It was his job.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work out. And Lane has gone on to have a pretty good career. Didn't need U of H, but man, U of H could have used him. Coming off of Tom Herman, going to Lane Kiffin. I think that'd have been a lot of fun.
It's it's not too far different than what happened with us passing on Sonny Dykes at La Tech when Sumlin left.
Yeah, but I think they were gonna. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're going to leave us in a couple of years. Sonny Dykes he's going to come to U of H and use us as a stepping stone. He'll be at Texas Tech in 2 years. Lane Kiffin's going to use us and he's going to go somewhere else in 2 years. Okay. I would have been fine with that. Better than having to fire him in 2 years.
You fired Tony Levine in 3. You fired Major in 2. Tom Herman left in 2. After Sumlin, it was 7 years, 3 head coaches. Well, not very good. I'm going to dip out for this question. If you had to predict right now, what 2 teams make it to Arlington for the Big 12 championship? Brad?
Us and who? We're not eliminated, so I'm holding on hope there. Until we're officially eliminated, I'm going to say that we got a shot. But realistically, I think Texas Tech and BYU will be at the top with a outside shot or I don't even know about outside. I haven't even looked at their schedule, but Cincy's right up there.
I keep maybe not downplaying BYU, but I don't see them enough, and so I can't. I just don't put them in that category, you know. But they're clearly right. You know, Oklahoma City did not keep me engaged last night.
I mean, they should have. They should have lost last night, BYU. But you know, you've got to win some ugly games. You know, on the road, play like shit, and then pull one out of the fire.
Cincinnati goes to Oklahoma State this week. Then they have Baylor at home. Then they go to Utah. That's a hard trip. Utah just got their first home win in the Big 12 ever. Then they have Arizona at home, BYU at home, and at TCU. Did you have a conniption? What happened?
Give him a little golf clap.
Oh. That stretch of at Utah, Arizona, and BYU, I mean, that's your whole season.
Well,
Cincinnati.
Well, in Utah, I'm looking at BYU's. I mean, shit gets real. They got the Civil War this week, and they're at Iowa State, and then they're at Texas Tech, and then it turned in to be even tougher. They got TCU, and then at Cincy. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying, you know, hey, we're not out of it. Crazy stuff happens.
If you have
the Holy War, yeah, you're right.
The Holy War is this weekend, 7:00 on Fox. We're going to be done with Cats. I'm going to be home. I'm going to be watching that. I'm excited. If you can win this weekend against Arizona, you go to 3-1 in the conference, and then you go to Arizona State, and I think you come home for West Virginia after that. Then you go to UCF, then a week off, and then TCU at home and at Baylor. If you can make it to November, getting 2 wins, Arizona, Arizona State, and West Virginia, you're in position. You don't have to win all 3. You don't have to go crazy and win all 3 games in October. You just got to win 2. And if you win 2, you got 3 games and an off week in that last month. And none of those 3 games are just unwinnable games. At UCF on the space game is a little weird. It's a Friday night, long trip. That could be goofy.
Yes.
TCU at home, I think you should win. And then you go to Baylor, and it could be for, a significant, you could be for Arlington. It could be for a serious bowl game versus Shreveport, Fort Worth, whatever crap you would end up in. But you're in position to get in position right now. And frankly, you just can't ask for a lot more on October 12th.
Baylor's.
Do you know what Baylor is? Do you know who they are? What's their identity?
I don't know. That's the weird thing about this, or that's the beautiful thing about this conference, and the reason why I just don't know. Baylor was terrible last year until they weren't, and they reeled off 7 straight. They win games. They win games that they shouldn't, at least by the way that they're playing, and they pull it out. They're one of those teams that hangs in there and hangs in there. And if you do not choke them out, they can one-shot you. And
they have man, where are they at right now? No, they go to TCU this weekend, 11 a.m. Don't like that for Baylor, but I think the Kansas State game was an 11 a.m. game, if I remember. They go to TCU, then they go to Cincinnati, and then home for UCF and Utah, and then at Arizona, and then U of H to end the season. Mm-hmm. You could go through this entire schedule and still not know who they are.
No, but you can do that. You can do that with pretty much everybody here except for really Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, yeah.
I mean, hey, look, I know,
And Oklahoma State, you know who they are.
Yeah, we know that we took a beating against Texas Tech, and everything. It was time to fire coaches. It was time to do all sorts of bad shit, and we were just terrible. But then they went out and did the exact same thing to Kansas. Okay, I mean, we got pretty pissed off that we gave up 26 pressures and 3 or 4 sacks. They got 26 pressures and 9 sacks and 9 sacks to go with 13 tackles for loss against Kansas. I mean, Kansas. I mean, they're a solid program. Definitely ahead of where we've been. So they smoked Utah. They smoked us. They smoked Kansas. Guys, Texas Tech's a damn good ball club.
For sure. Okay, let's wrap this up and see if we can get to practice in the morning. Brad, you had Jalen Garner. You had Ethan Sanchez. You had Star Pizza getting shouted out by both guys.
Yeah.
Section 12X, 12X.com. You got a homecoming special. This is homecoming coming up. I keep forgetting this. Use code homecoming for free shipping. They're going to get it to you. Those hats. Towns has a hat. He's got the swinging cougar. I mean, you got some stuff going on. I'm going to give out some hats. I've got still half a dozen here. I'm going to give out at homecoming. I
think we know who needs a swag cougar.
Who would that be, Jim?
Swag kicker.
I'm going to be honest with you. You just kind of blew my mind. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. We're going to make sure that happens. We're going to get Ethan Sanchez, who, by the way, was a fantastic interview. Like, he was ready to go.
Yeah,
Jalen Garner was a very, very good interview, but maybe not as media savvy as, and I don't know where Sanchez picked it up, but he is. He's ready to go. We're going to dump you and have him here next year. Better, dump me and have him.
Absolutely.
I can be in bed.
So wrapping up, what do we think about this week? What do we get? What's your thoughts on the game coming up?
I don't know. But I mean, I'm that way every single week. If this program shows up, first off, I think the fans have to be there. If you're at 25,000 fans for homecoming, 11 a.m., you failed.
It will be 25 to start, but I think I have faith in the.
Okay, start. I
think students are going to come big for this one.
I hope so. 11 a.m. is so tricky. You just never know what you're going to get with students. But hopefully they show out. People come for homecoming. You've got a 5-1 team. Maybe a few more people show up for that.
Right.
This fan base is pretty old, so they shouldn't have kids in Little League and soccer and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's up at 4 a.m. I am saying that about myself too.
Yeah, I think you should expect to win this. I think the line is 1, I believe, right now. But at this point, you just have to expect that you're going to win this ball game. You've got to play well.
I'm not saying that we're not. I'm not saying that we're going to win it right now. But
right,
I'm saying, why shouldn't we win it?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we expect to win it?
There's 2 things I would focus on. Number 1, Willie Fritz, nonstop at practice. Nonstop. We got to be +1. We got to be +1. We got to be +1. He says, I believe he says 93%. His teams are 93% in games they're +1. And number 2, you've got to reduce these penalties.
Yeah.
It's a ton of offensive line penalties.
Yes.
You've got snap infractions, you've got holds, you've got hands to the face, false start. I
can deal with a hold here and there that just kind of happens. I expect it with our offensive line because they're getting beat. Hands to the face, you can't do that. But that
And if you do, you better take the guy's helmet off, as Dalton
Yeah.
Merriman did.
well, and
Or maybe it
thing
was
is,
Pancake.
it's also a part of the holding. It all comes to the same place. But the pre-snap stuff, no, absolutely not. You can't put up with that at all. That's not a lack of athleticism. That's a lack of focus.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So those are the two places I'm looking at. We broke it down somewhere, maybe on Twitter, about the penalties and the penalties and sacks. If this team has a penalty or sack on a drive, it's like 90% you're not scoring a touchdown. It might be 87% because Ethan Sanchez is going to hit from the logo, but you've got to have clean drives. And so if you have clean drives, which means no penalties, no sacks, and if you're +1 in turnover, you got to feel really good about where you are. You got to feel really good about having a kicker that, more than any kicker I can remember since Matt Hogan, you feel like when the money's on the line, he's there.
Mhm.
And he was awesome tonight, and I really appreciate him. I appreciate Jalen Garner, my long-lost cousin, for being with us tonight. Dean Connors was supposed to be here, and something came up in his family life. He said, "Oh, have me next week." And I'm like, you're not going to make that crazy one-handed catch. You're not going to go gadget over the offensive and defensive lines for a touchdown. I said, if you can do that, you will be here next Sunday night.
Absolutely.
But the bar is pretty high.
Yeah. I think all that you said offensively, I think we need to defensively, we have to play the way we normally play, except for less missed tackles. And it's going to take a lot of discipline from guys to take care of and do their own job. I think the quarterback is good, but he's dangerous on the move.
Yeah.
He can make stuff happen. So you've got to be really disciplined in where you're going, and you got to be smart with your angles to him. Because if he can extend plays, that makes things really, really, really difficult. Not a good situation for us. But if we can keep him somewhat contained in the pocket and force him to throw from the pocket, then I like our chances.
Last week we talked about they're going to play a night game in Tucson and then have to travel a good ways and play an 11 a.m. game. Well, you got a hurricane coming through there. They had a 90-minute delay. They ended up being a 5-hour game. And so that wipes out today for them. They're done. What can they do coming out of that? They lose kind of a game that they thought they could have won. Are they hungover? It could be a goofy game. But if you take care of yourself, and see, I don't even want to talk about defense. I feel like the defense is going to do their job. They had some issues against Texas Tech, but in the red zone, they were really good. They forced however many field goals, 7 field goals. The problem was Texas Tech got to red zone a million times. But I think U of H, if they can play the defense you expect, then it's just those turnovers and having clean drives. And if you can do those two things, you're going to be sitting here a week from now, 6-1, with all of your destiny just sitting right there staring you in the face.
Yep.
Thank you to Star Pizza, to Section 12X, and the Ritz for helping us out, for being great with us. We did 90 minutes. I was worried that this could be a 30-minute show, but thank God you went on for 45 minutes about James Franklin, because
use the code
had anybody
homecoming and spell it correct.
Homecoming. Why are you so worried about this spelling? You have very low expectations.
Look, man, if I'm going to talk about people spelling in other aspects, I got to make sure that we all do it. We all got to live up to it. We all got to check it. Spell check is our friend.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you Saturday, mid-afternoon, from TDECU, following homecoming with Arizona. Thanks so much.
Look at you munching away, big fella. Life doesn't get better than pizza and a Cougars game, huh? Go Cougs!